What's your reaction?
I'm surprised. Skip, many years ago, I spoke to someone very close to Coach Belichick. And it says that Coach Belichick relayed to him that he came within a whisker of naming Tom Brady the starter in 2001, but he just couldn't pull the trigger. And he said that was probably one of the regrets that he went, when he did it, ultimately make that decision. That's why he never went back to Drew Bledsoe. Fast forward 20 plus years later, Skip, he gets an opportunity to, again, Tom wasn't a rookie, obviously at this point, he was in his second year, to make a decision. Coach Belichick says, I'm not going to miss on this one. I'm a little surprised because I didn't. The kid played well. Mac Jones played unbelievable, Skipper. Remember, I said this before. I believe he was the most ready to play. Take him out the box, given what he was at Alabama. Coach Belichick knows Nick Saban. They're basically one and the same. One just coaches college, the other coaches the pros, but they're one and the same. And I believe Coach Saban said, Bill, you can't go wrong with this guy. This guy's tough, this guy's smart, this guy's team first. And remember, Skip, we talked about this, Skip. If it's close, one guy vaccinated, the other guy isn't. Brian Flores says what? Team first.
Yep.
All these coaches, all these ownerships is looking at a guy, okay, you can blow our whole thing up by not being vaccinated. We can miss games.
I do believe that was a factor.
I'm going to take it out of your hands. I'm going to get the vaccine. He chose not to. Hey, it's his choice.
Yep.
Now he can do whatever he wants to do. We'll see what happens. He only had $3.5 million guaranteed. Could he land somewhere else? We're going to talk about that a little later, Skip. But I'm a little surprised that this is the way it would go. But like you said this, Skip, he either has to start or you have to release him because there is no in-between. That's Cam Newton.
It's Cam Newton. He was not born to be a backup quarterback. No. He has no backup in his makeup.
Right.
It's not who he is or will be. And I wouldn't want him hanging over the shoulder pads of my kid because I think that's hard. So to me, I'll go, I'm surprised but not shocked because I've been telling you from the start, I'm just watching this kid play and he's better than I thought.
Yes.
And I thought Cam played very well in his preseason stint.
I did too.
The kid played a little better. You couldn't ask the kid to do more than he kept doing.
Right.
And then he got his one moment in the sun against the Giants on a Wednesday joint practice scrimmage.
Right.
And according to I didn't get to watch it, but according to all reports, they kept score. He was 35 of 40.
Right.
He lit it up and lit up the Giants so badly, they actually game planned for the Thursday so they could put him back in his place, right?
Yep.
Because they were so embarrassed by what he did to them.
Correct.
And it got to the point where at the end of the practice, with the New England media looking on, Belichick walked down the sideline to where the kid was kneeling because he was worn out because it was hot and humid up in the Northeast. And he reached down and kind of high-fived and low-fived him.
Right.
And you brought the point. You think he ever did that to Tom Brady? And I'm a big no on that. That was almost like a blessing from above. He blessed this kid. And this kid is everything Belichick loves. He's obviously a hard worker, doesn't say a lot, shows up. He was even game planning himself against the New England defense by watching tape of its defense for practices. So it's what's not to like. And he's more of Belichick's cup of Gatorade because he's right out of the Brady mold. He is definitely Brady-esque. There's going to be a little dinking and dunking going on. But after the first stint, the first night I watched him, it looked like he was Dak throwing with a pulled muscle, softball throwing. And then all of a sudden, second game, third game, I started to see a little bit of juice on the throws to the point where I said, you know what, that'll work. And Cam will not work as your backup. And I've told you this several times. I have too much respect for him. It's not what he was meant to be at age 32, is to stand there. And I think Belichick is saying, gee, ultimately Cam just can't help it. He's going to make some waves on social media about how he should be playing. And remember that cryptic post to his, loyalty, I deserve it. He later said, this is about my kids. It was a personal thing that I posted. You said you bought it. Fine. It very well could have been. But it's one thing you don't do within the Patriot way. You don't even appear to be taking a shot at the head coach, because the head coach could interpret that as you're saying, I owe you this.
And Skip, what I didn't understand about Cam, you missed time last year because of COVID. You leave.
It's just inconceivable to me. Yeah.
That you wouldn't get the vaccine, knowing Coach Belichick, like, availability is an ability also.
Yep.
He's like, you missed time last year. You go away, you have to be gone for 5 days, and you still haven't got the vaccine. What happens? We're in the middle of the season, Skip, and you're gone for 14 days if you get COVID. Can I trust you? Can I count on you?
No.
You make it very easy. Skip, remember I said, Skip, if it's close, one guy's vaccinated and the other guy isn't. Guess which one I'm choosing?
Okay. So to back up just how good this kid has been, I'm going to repeat these stats from Pro Football Focus, your favorite website. His overall grade, Mac Jones, in 3 preseason games, was the best that they have ever scored for a rookie quarterback in a preseason, better than Patrick Mahomes in 2017, and the best that they've scored since they started in 2013. Okay. I'll buy that.
Right.
I'll take that to my bank. And he also led all quarterbacks of any year this preseason in passing grade on 10-plus yard throws.
Right.
His downfield throws, they were on the mark, on the money. And his turnover-worthy rate led all of football in the preseason because it was 0%.
Right.
He threw not one ball that they graded as turnover-worthy, whether it was picked or not. And he had no picks, obviously. Okay, those are all bankable by Bill Belichick. Good, great.
Right.
And in the end, I kept telling you, my eye test tells me this kid is just playing at a little higher level. And then we had the great Rodney Harrison, as we talked about earlier in the show, guy you know very well.
I do.
Guy I respect highly. And his line on Cam Newton was, he's older, he's stuck in his ways, and his best days are gone. And he characterized last year from Cam as super inconsistent.
It was.
Okay?
He didn't lie.
Belichick said, I know it's scary because Cam might be a little more trustable in those first 2 or 3 games.
Right.
But you're saying the future is standing right in front of you. So back to your Brady story, your anecdote, it's standing there hitting you right between the eyes, and you just say, okay, I got to close my eyes and plunge and hope that he can weather a few early storms and get ready for the game of games, which is going to be week 4 on Sunday night versus Tom Brady.
Well, we think they're going to run the football heavily.
And again, Cam can obviously supplement that.
Right.
But you don't really now need Cam to do it all by himself because you got a stable.
Right.
The stable's running so deep, starting with Ramondre Stevenson, that you sent Sony Michel to the Rams.
Correct.
So you don't need Cam's legs. You need Mac to throw from the pocket when called upon.
Yes.
But maybe they won't throw. Maybe they'll throw 20, 25 passes.
Yeah, well, Skip, it's going to be heavy play action because when you can run the football, play action is your best friend. And with Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith, Kendrick Bourne, they went out and got this offense some weapons. They re-signed Trent Brown, put him at right tackle. They got Isaiah Wynn. So and the defense is going to be better. They got Zeus Hightower to come back in there.
Did.
They re-signed Kyle Van Noy. If and when Stephon Gilmore comes back, now you're talking about Stephon Gilmore, J.C. Jackson. That defense is really going to be outstanding. But now that I'm looking at it, Skip, I'm surprised. But like you, I'm not shocked. Because, you did take the guy in the first round, the 15th pick. He is your guy. Skip, that's the thing. That's his guy. He was not loyal. I don't know why, even if Cam was taking a shot at the Patriots, loyalty is not what the Patriots do.
They don't do it. He doesn't do it.
No, they treat this like college. After 4 years, Skip, you're getting up out of there. It's the next guy. That's like Coach Belichick. Every day you get graded. Every year you on the hot seat. Ain't no, oh, he signed a 4-year deal. There ain't no guarantee with that.
Okay, so you made the point. Belichick could take a little credit for taking Cam off the scrap heap, so to speak, and sort of reviving his career.
Right.
But in the end, the real credit is here.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Because you didn't take him in the 6th round, but all those teams had a shot at Mac Jones up high, and they all passed. So he fell, as you say, out of heaven into your lap all the way down at 15. So it feels almost Brady-esque. in that he fell so far as a potential top of the draft pick,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Belichick can take credit for that because now he has his quote-unquote Brady.
And Skip, when I'm looking at the games, and I, like you, watched all the games because I'm interested to see, and I'm seeing them like, well, damn, they sure let Mac throw a little bit more than they're letting Cam throw. But I'm thinking like, well, we know what we got with Cam. Cam can throw the football. Okay, we just going to get Mac because we need to get Mac ready just in case something happens to Cam. I didn't really think like, well, damn, Mac threw 52 times, Cam only threw 21 times. But I believe there are a lot of things in play here, Skip. It's hard for me to believe to just dismiss Cam not being vaccinated. You can't dismiss that the rookie did play good. Maybe he exceeded Coach Belichick's expectations in what they thought they would get out of Mac Jones. And so with this, wow, this is the first shock wave. It's not going to be the only shock wave because I'm sure there are going to be a lot of other named players that get released, but it's going to be hard-pressed to have a bigger name being released than Cam Newton.
This was the story of the preseason. And now it has become times 10 the story of the preseason. And we'll talk later about where does Cam go from here because it's going to be tough. But I'm going to conclude with this point. I do believe Cam would have given the Patriots a better chance to beat Brady in the Week 4 game on that Sunday evening, his return to Foxborough. Cam has always played not just well, he's played great against Tom Brady and kind of had Tom's number. So he gives you a little better shot. But I also believe that Belichick's thinking is it would be far more satisfying for Belichick to beat Brady with Mac Jones than it would be with Cam, for whom he can't take all that much credit, right? Because when Cam has beaten Brady in the past, it's been because he was a Panther, right?
Correct.
Okay. So in the end, I think Belichick's saying, I got to damn the torpedoes here. If it requires me having to struggle a little bit, I still feel like I can win more games. And I told you last Friday, I thought Mac could win 10 games with this team, and I had Cam, I believe, at 9 games.
And that's it, Skip. Coach Belichick. Well, look, all through the preseason, Coach Belichick says Cam's the starter, Cam's the starter. After the Sunday game, he says we got a lot of positions to evaluate. So all of a sudden, he didn't give him that ringing endorsement that he had. Remember last year, Skip, every game, no matter how bad Cam played, Cam's the starter, Cam's the starter. Cam's the starter. We'll let you know if something changes. He didn't give that ringing endorsement after the Giants game, but I just like this Coach Belichick playing coy. You know, this is what Coach Belichick does. He doesn't like to give you a whole lot of things. He's like, hey, I'll give you information when I deem it's appropriate.
Well, he just gave you a bombshell.
He gave us a bombshell.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.